Welcome to a new planetary and seismic update. We look at the SSGI graph, magnitude 5.5 and larger from 11 to 20 June. That was the previous time frame that I partially discussed in the previous update. We see this obvious clustering again following the critical geometry on the 14th and also on the 17th, including two magnitude 6 earthquakes. And then after the 18th, no larger seismic activity occurred. This is an obvious seismic response to the specific planetary geometry. So we quickly go to the next time frame from the 20th to the 29th, and we're going to have a full moon. That will be tonight, actually around midnight, and it will be preceded by Mercury, Venus, Mars in a right angle. And it will be followed by Venus, Mars, Saturn in a conjunction. It's pretty much a convergence of critical geometry around the time of full moon. And we also had a moon in a conjunction, or maybe I should say opposition, with Jupiter. That was also early on the 20th. That was yesterday morning. And so this geometry is coming together around this full moon, and there is the potential for a larger seismic activity. I do expect stronger earthquakes. We have this typical threshold of 5.5, 5.6 and larger, and that may happen, maybe not all that much this time, by the way, but there is the potential for a stronger earthquake, maybe even a big one, around the time of the full moon, most likely. And if we look at this time frame, we see only the critical geometry in the first half up until the 24th. And the second half of the time frame, we see some right angle geometry with Mercury, but other than that, there's no really critical planetary geometry in the second half of this time frame. We have Earth, Moon, Saturn on the 27th coming up, and then later on the 28th, the next planetary conjunction is Mercury, Sun, Saturn, which on its own is also not too critical. So most of the critical geometry actually occurs in the first half around the time of the full moon. If we look at the solar system, we see the full moon here. This is the blue line, and we have the purple lines here indicating the right angle geometry with Mercury. That involves Venus and Mars, and that could cause some seismic increase. And then we have Venus, Mars and Saturn in a conjunction. So the question is this going to trigger a major earthquake or a big one? Around the time of the full moon, that is a possibility. I am not too sure about it though. Again, Earth has been in a relatively quiet period since early April, and it's very difficult to estimate what Earth is going to do and when the next large earthquake is going to occur. If that is going to occur, I suspect around the time of full moon is most likely. We have two planetary conjunctions. If you look back at the SSGI graph, that is Venus, Mars, Saturn, like I said, and then early on the 24th, Mercury, Mars, Neptune. And going back to the solar system, we can actually see that Mercury, Mars and Neptune are going to be in a conjunction. Is that combination going to do something? Again, on the SSGI graph here, Venus, Mars, Saturn, and then Mercury, Mars, Neptune. That's a big question. There could be some seismic increase as a result. 24th, 25th, we see there a higher red peak. That's a right angle geometry with Mercury. Usually it triggers some seismic increase, like a higher 5 or borderline 6 magnitude earthquake. But again, I suspect if larger seismic activity is going to occur, most likely around the time of full moon, and to a lesser degree, maybe 24th, 25th, following the two planetary conjunctions with Mercury and Venus. If we look at the atmospheric fluctuations, for the third time now, we see fluctuations over East Africa, east of Africa and the Middle East. And that means that there is a higher risk of larger seismic activity in the indicated or near the indicated areas. And the last two fluctuations were actually somewhat larger, so there is the potential, I guess, for a big earthquake or a strong earthquake, higher 6, maybe it will reach magnitude 7. I am not so sure. The fluctuations were very obvious, and there is a higher risk, so be on extra alert just in case. So again, emphasis is on the full moon and some critical geometry around it. We had the lunar conjunction with Jupiter also, so there is a potential for a larger one, most likely maybe later today or tomorrow. And it remains a bit critical on the 23rd with the planetary conjunction Venus, Mars, Saturn, and also early on the 24th with Mercury, Mars, Neptune. But that one is less critical on its own. It's really the geometry involving Venus that we are most concerned about. This is the seismic update so far. Stay safe, everyone. Also check out the website for the latest updates and the social media, of course. Until next time.